What is going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream segment of Mika's Hisukaz. And of course, as always, I am your humble host, Niko House. I have some breaking news for you. So this is going to be quick regarding not only the COVID stimulus package, but the NDAA. One of our really good friends on Capitol Hill, who, may dabble around the congressional sphere every now and then, may even vote on a bill or two from time to time, made us privy to some information that, for the most part, seemingly almost nobody knew about unless you were on Capitol Hill. Yesterday's bill was not the COVID stimulus package that it was pitched to be. I know. Surprise, surprise. Actually, the reason that we saw so much spending for the military and the State Department and for Israel and for Sudan and all these places was because that's an NDAA appropriations bill. That bill was put together with COVID stuff attached to it, crumbs, literally crumbs attached to it, so you would be willing to accept it. They would surround the debate around COVID stimulus, and it wasn't COVID stimulus that was being discussed, really. It was the appropriation of the funds for the NDAA. And for the ones who wouldn't play ball, including potentially Donald Trump, well, if Donald Trump would have vetoed that bill, or if it would have got killed in the House or in the Senate, that bill specifically, yeah, the government would have shut down. Government would have shut down. It wasn't a COVID stimulus package. Now, I imagine if this congressperson who was privy to the realization that this was indeed an appropriations bill for the NDAA and obviously voted against it largely because of this. Look at the bill. She's voted against the NDAAs. Why wouldn't you vote against the bill? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Render unto Caesar. Other people knew this. Once again, this would include Bernie Sanders. Once again, this would include AOC, the squad, and everybody else who voted for this. They literally held the entire country hostage, telling you they couldn't get anything more than $600 a month, $600 check, $600 check, so that they could pass like the worst appropriations of the National Defense Authorization Act and enforce Trump to sign it, or else the government would shut down on his watch. And of course, there would be a shitstorm that he would have to deal with. Because of course, Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell will all of a sudden back off. Now, the NDAA itself, I don't know if you all recall, was heavily debated because Trump actually said he was not going to sign the NDAA no matter what was in it, as long as Section 230 was still attached to it. Section 230 being like let's call it the escape clause for the digital industry, for the big tech. That's their little escape clause that allows them to they're protected as if they are not publishers, so they can't be sued as publishers, while of course they go around acting like publishers. Trump made it very clear that if that did not get passed or get taken out or completely reimagined, that he wasn't going to pass the NDAA. He wasn't going to sign it. Now, I imagine, especially given everything that's going on, he probably still feels that way. In fact, I was told that he is still planning on vetoing legislation, and they don't have the numbers in the House to fight it. Now, once again, the appropriations in that bill, the trash bill that we just saw yesterday, once again, not COVID stimulus package. That was a lie. They are pitching this story as a COVID stimulus package in all of the mainstream media. Even your favorite Congress people are pitching this as a COVID stimulus package. It wasn't. That had nothing to do with you. It was just so you wouldn't complain. I'm sure, like I said, if Justin Amash didn't say the day before that they didn't even read the text, it would have never mattered. We would have never found out. So this is an NDAA appropriations package, which is why there are so many military and State Department budget allocations. But if that NDAA gets vetoed, well, them allocations ain't there no more. I'm not sure if that includes the COVID package, because apparently, supposedly, that was just approved and voted on and signed off by the congressional leaders yesterday or the day before. The NDAA was written a minute ago, and that's where the Section 230 conversation started. So, if anything that was part of the National Defense Authorizations Act was included in that bill, highly likely that shit won't get passed or won't even be coming to fruition until obviously there's a war on the floor, because my little source on Capitol Hill also told us they don't have the votes in the House to overturn Trump's veto. They're currently trying to get the votes right now. In other words, it looked like it could be a little tussle on Capitol Hill. Now this bill, the appropriations bill yesterday was horrible. Trump, I wish, should have, did and could have and should have vetoed it. But strategically speaking, if you're going to render damn near every other section of that bill useless without your signature, like all the worst parts of it, then that's kind of and people still get their checks. Actually, that's kind of like a better option for the time being. It's actually probably should be celebrated. But so for those of you I know were saying Trump needs to veto this one, he doesn't need to veto this one. He needs to veto the NDAA, which I think everybody would prefer, the National Defense Authorization Act. I believe everybody every time should veto the NDAA. So he's going to veto that, the entire defense budget. It's not going to go through, but unless the House can overturn the veto, which right now, based on the numbers, they cannot, because they lost seats in the House. Thanks to Nancy Pelosi, the people that nobody wants to force out. And if Trump makes a ruckus, not only over the NDAA, but also this appropriations bill, which would be immediately affected, and Section 230, which directly impact the big tech industry, then Congress might not be going home for a bit. And this could roll right into January, where we see politicians, once again, the great unmasking continues. That's all I'm going to say. The great unmasking continues. So, yeah. It's once again, it's about to be a crazy one. So like I said, you heard it here first, folks. NDAA will be vetoed. As of right now, the House does not have the votes to overturn the veto, and it could get ugly. But luckily, your little $600, the crumbs that we were given, thanks to our gracious overlords, will not be affected by the NDAA. Now, unless the Democrats and Republicans team up and try to do that, because you know how they are. But at least, like I said, the worst parts of that bill hopefully will be the stuff that's removed, or at least nullified by the vetoing of the NDAA. In the best case scenario, everybody will be exposed. The people need to know that this was an appropriations bill and not a COVID stimulus package. People need to know that literally the same people who were gaslighting you, telling you got to shut down, telling you you can't open your business, you can't gather in your place of worship, you can't hang out with your friends and family, you can't fly airplane, you got to take this experimental vaccine, we got to give them $2 billion, now we got to give them $32 billion. The same ones that are telling you supposedly it's about your life and your safety and gaslighting you and pretending it's the Republicans and they're pretending it's the Democrats. They're all in cahoots. They just voted on an appropriations bill and sold it to you as a COVID stimulus package. Think about that. Well, let us know what your thoughts are about this. Like this video, share this video, leave a comment below. But always remember, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace. If you like that segment of Mikasa Sukasa, don't forget to like the video and smash that subscribe button. Want access to members only live streams, behind the scenes footage, and other premium content? Well, you can endorse us on Rockman Premium, become a patron through Patreon, or You can sign up for the MCSC Premium membership through YouTube. All the links are in the description below. But hey, more than anything else,
More than anything else,
More than anything else,
More than anything else.
always remember,
Find your balance.
find your balance.
find your balance.
Find your balance. Find your balance.
Find your balance. Find your balance.
Always remember, more than anything else, find your balance.
peace.